So hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kelly and I'm doing this video in English for my safety. And let's get into it. I've had the chance to become Miss Burundi last year, and here are the 5 things I wish I knew before I became Miss Burundi. So mind you, there are plenty of things you know before applying, and you know that comes with the title. There are some responsibilities. There is you know that there's plenty of things you won't get to do anymore, and there are others you will have to. But these are the 5 things I actually did not expect. These are the 5 things I did not expect to experience, at least to this degree. So without further ado, first things first, being Miss Burundi is expensive. Being Miss Burundi, holding this title, is very expensive, and this is this is why. The budget you allocate to your outside appearance is much bigger. You have to have your hair done. Don't laugh at my hair right now. I knew I had 5 days where I was not going to be going to an event, so I did this like twist out, so bear with me. You have to have your hair done, your nails done. You have to have the clothing you have to wear, very feminine, heels. I think my previous look was more of kind of tomboyish kind of vibe, but still very classy. I was mostly wearing like shirts, like long sleeves, and suit pants. How do you say that? I don't know. Anyways, like basically like casual work attire, I guess. So lots of dresses, lots of skirts and cute tops and heels and jewelry, and I keep saying more and more, and bags and the media be trolling you if you don't have something new every time they take pictures of you. So just be prepared for that. Like I said, nails have to be done. Don't look at my crusty ass nail like your nails have to be done, your hair has to be done. I knew I had like a window of about 5 days where I won't be having any big event, at least until the end of this week. So I did like a little twist out. I let like my nails be kind of crusty, but that's not something that's acceptable. Anyways, continue also to your project. So when you go into Miss Burundi, you have a project. Usually it's a community project. And to actually get it done, it requires a lot of money. And until you have financing, you can't wait for actually having financing to start doing the work you're supposed to do. So I think most of the money that I have gotten from like the competition, etc., I really just put it there, and at least you know it's making an impact. So I think, I mean, that's positive. You know that it's actually money that's not just being like straight up consumed. Yeah, I guess that's positive. Anywho, so it requires a lot of money. Like in Burundi and France, it's like millions and millions, but I guess in USD it will be like thousands and thousands of dollars. At this point, I don't want to get into that because I would get very emotional. Yeah, just know that having this title comes at a price, and like literally it comes at a price. You spend so much money. Second thing, you belong to the country. It almost makes sense, but it doesn't. Listen to me. So when you get crowned Miss Burundi, you think you have a duty to the country, you know? You you're there to serve. You don't think you belong to the country. So that's like the little tweak. You have to be aware that you, as Miss Burundi, belong to Burundi, okay? You belong to the country. The national agenda is your agenda. The national timing is your timing. The national priorities are your priorities. We don't care what you're doing. If they say pull up, you have 24 hours to figure out how that's gonna happen. You execute, basically. So I even had I just don't know how to prepare you if you're interested in this position, or at least in understanding what's behind this. No matter how important whatever whatever you think you're doing is, you have 24 hours to execute. You understand that? So it is not a bad thing. I just want people to be aware of what they're getting in, since I was clearly not aware. I even got comments like that that one is from my family. It's like "Nimbega mutu kene kene twiki hugu mbak mo wathemeleza." Let me not get emotional. So I was not prepared for that. I did not know how what this 1 year would look like. It's like Charlie's Angels without the fun. It's like you're called, you appear like a magical wand. You just appear. We need you. Appear. It's literally like that. You almost think of yourself as a joke, but yeah, just be prepared. Just be prepared. Apart from this YouTube channel that I have, the rest of my other social media tend to be a little bit more formal. Like the formal-est, I think, is Twitter. I don't use Facebook, so if you think I have Facebook, I don't. And Instagram is kind of a mix, because I do enjoy Instagram, so I do kind of both. But yeah, so I've had a lot of comments that were like, why don't we see more of you? I'm like, I'm on every damn channel. How much more do you want to see me? Even I don't want to see me anymore. Like, by the way, fun fact, I never rewatched an interview that I did. So we do the interview, I'd never go back. I don't know, I think it's very cringeworthy, because I feel like I'm reliving the same stuff, and it's not like I enjoy a lot of interviews. Don't get my words twisted, but I don't like interviews, even though I do them well. That's actually my third point. The media mania. The media is just if you're thinking of applying, or you know somebody who's thinking of applying, just tell them to beware of the media. They're very, very overwhelming. It's the same questions that you just learn to re-answer in different ways. Actually, sometimes when I get a journalist, I'm just like, can I suggest questions to you so that your interview be a little bit more interesting? Because even I am tired of seeing the same thing about me. Anywho, I don't think I've done any less than 50 interviews, but I think it's way more. It's somewhere between 50 and 100 interviews so far. And I'm like a little bit past halfway of the year that I'm supposed to be I was about to say queen, that I'm supposed to be Miss Burundi. So far I've done somewhere between 50 and 100 interviews, so just be aware that that's something you will have to do. So if you're an introvert like me, I'm not a big introvert, but even my little extrovertness just vanished with the media. You just like, can I take a deep breath? I like to think of the media, they're like children, you know? So they can make you happy, they can make you smile, they can make a mess, They follow you everywhere, and if you don't discipline them, they get out of hand. Why am I saying this? You know what? Let me give you a short story time that I thought was kind of funny. There was this time a journalist approached me. I don't know if you call them journalists, if they're like, they have online TVs, like YouTube channels, just like this, but it's like, it's a special concept where it's an online TV. So it's like a TV, but it's on YouTube, I guess. It's not like on any other place. It's not like a website where you go watch their interviews. It's specifically on YouTube. So I guess it's just the YouTube channel. And so the person approached me, the owner of the, I guess, the YouTube channel, and they were like, you know what, you did a press conference, and I just believe you should invite way more online TVs, because we're the ones that get the news across. We're the ones that make you famous. You know, he was just I remember thinking to myself, because you know I'm very polite, and okay, that's also something you will have to do a lot. Be polite, because sometimes things happen and you just like, let me stop you right there. But yeah, you have to be polite, very polite about it. So as he was going off and off, and I remember talking to myself and be like, you are the one that make us famous, but yet if I wasn't already, you wouldn't be talking to me. So I don't who makes who? But that's a subject for another day. No, I'm so sorry. Sorry. This is a subject for another day. And then it was like the press conference, whatever. And then that actually made me a little bit mad, because I was like, first, you don't know the audience I want to speak to. I do genuinely believe that if I need the Minister of Commerce to know about this news, the first place that person is going to go is on national TV, not on your YouTube channel. So I am not failing clearly. Second, you have judged that I have not taken the time to think it through and make a decision according to the audience I'm trying to reach and get the news across to, that you have decided that you had a better plan without knowing the goal and how successful I've been at it. I felt insulted in my own intelligence. I was like, you know what? If I was not full of patience and the Holy Spirit, I would have insulted you in a very, very intellectual way. Anywho, just be ready for the media. They can be very overwhelming. They can think you guys are friends. They can twist news to make themselves interesting. Just be aware of that, and remember, they can also be your biggest bullies. I'm not going to name names, but they've done that to multiple people that can testify how they can distort a news to actually make something look some kind of way, which it truly isn't. So just be aware of the media. If you're trying to get into this Miss thing, or even in the future, if the media is harassing you for any other reason, remember, they're like children. You need to discipline them, and they become your greatest asset. So they can be nice or your worst nightmare, and they're not going anywhere, just like kids. Yeah. Now, touchy subject number 4. I did not expect the jealousy. It is normal that, I mean, I had this chance to win this title. I wasn't expecting jealousy from grown adults that probably have it even better than I am having. I'm having it. They're more successful. I don't know. I was just not expecting the. Oh, my god, I'm starting to get a temperature. Sometimes I'm like, what are you jealous of? The jealousy I got, I did not understand why. Because I was like, what are you jealous of? Between the insults, the hate, the abuse, what do you want? What is it that you are desiring of this? The responsibility, maybe? Like, what is it that's so glamorous about this that you feel like you should be jealous of? Okay, you know what? Let me calm down. Let me calm. So, people used to tease me back in the days that I was kind of naive and I thought the world was so beautiful, filled with roses and I guess I don't know, rainbows. And it's not that I saw people that are meaner, I just saw more people that are mean for no apparent reason to me. So there's that. And unfortunately or fortunately, Burundi is a very small country, so eventually you get to know what those people truly think of you, or their actions do show that they think otherwise, but people will butter you up. Hey, they will butter you up. They will sweet, how do you sweet talk to you? Yeah, they will sweet talk to you, but they don't mean a word. And it's not like it was not something I was used to, but I was not expecting it to see that much of it. It's like everything you're living, the good and the bad, but magnified. It's like more of everything, more of I guess more opportunities, but it comes with more hypocrisy. More people get to know about you. It comes with more people get to hate you. More you get to meet plenty of awesome people, and you get to meet plenty of questionable people. I'm just trying to stay very, very polite about this. So just be aware that most of the people, even the closest, even the people I was not expecting to see any jealousy from, but you know what, I understand. And you're entitled to how you feel and your opinion. Maybe sometimes you're like, oh, she doesn't deserve the opportunities she's having. It's your opinion. She doesn't deserve the crown she has. Maybe it should have belonged to me. I'm not saying anything, but you see what I mean. If you think that the crown was supposed to be yours, then act like you would have been that person. Like, be kind, help the community, serve. Just be that person you think you deserve to have been. And for the other, like, really grown-ass human beings that are for some reason jealous, I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing that wow about where I'm at that you would want to live your life to come be in my shoes. Not that they're harder or anything, but your life is worth living and it's yours, and that's the beauty of it. It's yours. But if you go not even into mine but into any other person's shoes or any other person's life, you would realize that it's not worth living yours. Anywho, I was starting to get too deep. But there is a golden rule. I always keep it because, as I said, people will sweet tongue you. They will try to compliment you, whatever. But remember, there is this golden rule. It is most people, listen to me, most people are too self-absorbed to care about you. So move on. Whatever amazing thing they're telling you, they care too much about themselves to actually care about you. And that's most people. But otherwise, there are some very few good ones that you meet. You're like, wow, that was a beautiful encounter. Now, you know what? Actually, let me tell you something that happened. It's so funny. Like, this happens to me all the time. I meet somebody and they're like, "Oh my God, I love you. I support you. I really loved your project. It's so nice." And the only thing, because I'm more of a logical listener more than an emotional. I'm like, "Oh, really? What part of it?" And they're like, "I don't know your project, but I know it's good, and I feel like you talk smart." I literally got that answer. I was like, "Huh." I knew it. I knew. Like, remember, people don't care like that. They don't. Trust me. Last but not least, number 5, which is actually a really good thing if you think it through. You don't get a break of being Miss. Do I mean by that? You don't get to say, "I'm too tired to be Miss today. I'm having an emotional breakdown to be Miss today." Nuh-uh. I don't know, I'm exhausted and I need to sleep and I can't be Miss today. You cannot do that. So every time you show up and you wear your damn heels and a smile. So you can take this as a life advice. Just consider the heels to be your confidence, the smile to be your joy, and remember, you always have to show up strong. So that was actually a life lesson that I like about this, because no, you have no way out of being the strongest version of you. And that's pretty much, that sums up kind of life in general. You just have to wake up and show up again. Anyways, that was short, I guess. And this is it for the 5 things I personally wish I knew before deciding to apply for Miss Burundi.